This is the 2021 City of Shelton budget ordinance. Couple of just cleanup items that I want to address before we get to the ordinance itself. The second page of the briefing, there are some changes to the budget from the one that we supplied to you back on October 6th. And they are primarily related to the way that we are now allocating our insurance costs for property and liability insurance. The street fund is decreasing by $38,000. The water fund is increasing by $16,500. The sewer fund is decreasing by $17,000. Storm drainage is decreasing or is increasing by $6,500, but it's also going to see a decrease in its professional services of the same $6,500. So a net zero to the storm drainage fund. And the equipment rental, equipment maintenance and rental is increasing by about $2,500. And again, this is for the way that the city is now allocating insurance costs, which includes past insurance costs, as well as FTE, as well as risk. So just a cleanup thing there. Second cleanup item is that the budget, when it was presented to you, omitted by mistake a new position in the sewer fund, a training position in the sewer fund. So this does include $79,000, which is the total for both salary and benefits for this position. And then the street fund, because of the $38,000 reduction in expense for WCIA, there's a $38,000 decrease in revenue. That's the revenue that is part of the transfer in from the general fund to the street fund. And that $38,000 is going to go to be spread amongst general fund departments for that same insurance costs. So those are the only technical changes in the budget. The budget totals $31,719,000.5. The general fund portion of that is $12,200,000, almost $284,000. From a nuts and bolts perspective, the budget, it's roughly a $1.4 million increase overall from the 2020 budget. The general fund is just under the 2020 budget level by about $7,000. It's balanced. However, more work will need to be done to create a longer term sustainable budget for the city. And the general fund includes a 5 FTE reduction so that we could balance to estimated funding levels in 2020. But did want to take just a quick second to talk about what is included in the budget. It includes funding for public safety and general governmental services, public safety, the police department, fire services, as well as the municipal court. It includes roughly $5.5 million for capital improvements that will go towards city parks and trails, as well as street and utility infrastructure. It fully funds recreation services and community events and helps fund community events. And overall, it funds the city services that help contribute to a quality of life that the residents of Shelton enjoy. So I think overall, it's a good budget. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Has anyone signed up for public testimony?
No, they haven't, Mr. Mayor.
All right, would you please give me a second reading for ordinance number 1954-0820.
Ordinance number 1954-0820, an ordinance of the City of Shelton, Washington, adopting the budget for the calendar year 2021.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, before we get to that, I just want to again thank Aaron and his staff for all the work that they've put into this. I know especially this year that the budgeting has been challenging, and to the community that may be listening in either live or after the fact, we are very well aware that this budget is a living document and there is an expectation we'll revisit that in 2021 as the targets continue to change and data comes in. And so appreciation in advance to staff and the community for bearing with this as we really try to make sure that we're providing the services our community deserves, and being good stewards of those tax dollars. So thank you to everyone, much appreciated.
I agree with you 100%. He makes it seem easy for him. All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we consider this ordinance as presented after the public hearing is completed.
All right. We have a second.
Second.
All right, at this time, we'll ask for any questions. Any questions for Aaron? All right, hearing none. We have a motion and a second that we consider the ordinance as presented after the public hearing is completed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.